Coming to you live from the Cathouse in Montebello. It's Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast, the Monday edition, the September 16th edition, the Dre turns 40 in 10 days edition. What is going on? I'm here live. As we've mentioned, last week, I'm going to have a rotating co-host. This chair will be rotating and moving. And this week, it is Jai Polidore, my man, my main man. My computer's trying to restart. No computer. Bad computer.
Konnichiwa, heifers.
What is up? Today, oh man. I've been on one today.
That's like that's been your default position for.
It's been a while, but yeah, I've been on one. I've been feeling it. It's like I'm gonna be a dad. I'm a husband, but man, I've just been losing it at work.
See, that's because you need a break. Aside from just the weekend, you need to take the day off in the middle of the week, so this way you can get your mind right and focused again.
I've been a busy man. I'm a family man now.
Oh yeah, you kiss weekends and game time. Bye.
I don't like that. There is no game time because I posted 10 minutes before showtime. That I already posted the topics on the table. If you're a personal friend of Dre, then you already know the 3 topics we're going to cover today.
I'm a personal friend.
He is a personal friend, so I'm sure he saw a post, especially since you were tagged in said post.
Yeah,
that's true. TL Reeve mentioned, I'll see it. TL Reeve now, she is watching. Oh, we're not talking about Borderlands 3. I don't even have time to take a piss. I can't get into Borderlands 3. I'm lucky I get a few minutes of time here and there to get my phone game situation done. Because it's like all these phone games, man. They really have replaced the casual gaming for me because it's so easy. You could just do it anywhere. Like I tell my wife, it's like before the cell phone, I used to just carry my GBA or my GBA SP or my Nintendo DS or whatever other iteration of DS. Because it's funny, do you carry around a DS because you work for Nintendo? I'm like, no, I carry around a DS because I get bored very quickly and easily.
I got 100 hours of Bravely Default that I've put in, and I'm still not at the end of the game.
Have you still not finished that game?
Part 2.
Oh, Part 2. I'm about to say.
Part 1 was brilliant.
Hey, like our good friend Rolando Morales is watching. TL Reeve says, "Welcome to parenthood." Yeah, I am. I anxiously awaiting the arrival of my bouncing baby boy. I can't wait till my little guy. I can set him on my knee and show him the wonders and magic of Super Mario Brothers 3. And once he is old enough I can put the controller in his hands, and then the first time he can figure out. Once he has that raccoon tail and he can like boop, 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 and then fly. Oh, I cannot wait for the joy to fill my son's little heart when that happens. But that's like 5-6 years down the line. That's a future problem.
Yeah, that's something future Dre will have to take care of.
Yeah, that's if you're familiar with the show, if you've been around since day one, the Dre time continuum. Many times these are problems for future Dre, and the future Dre is to convince my young lad to enjoy some Mario Bros. Knowing my luck, I've always said this even before. If I ever became a dad, my child will not want any business to do with video games. That's been my ultimate fear. Clearly, your son has not. Jai here, man, that video you posted the other day.
Oh.
Of young Noah, my godson, playing Mega Man 2. Was
Mega
that?
Man 2.
Mega Man 2, and he just the agony of defeat. I'm just like. He didn't know.
It was him and Gianna. They were alternating, but I wasn't able to get a good video of Gianna. And the both of them were determined to get past that part. And finally, I showed them how to do it, and I didn't use Flashman at all to stop time.
You did? I was about to say, they don't have Flashman, because the only way I could ever get past that part of Mega Man 2, because that's the Quick Man stage, right?
Yeah.
And you get the lasers.
One hit KO.
You're donezo. It's like, no, children don't know the concepts of game over or the limited amount of lives. That was I laughed on the inside so hard when you posted that video. I saw poor Noah. I knew what was going to happen too. I'm like, bye, young godson. You will not. Neither they didn't make it, huh?
They didn't make it.
No, because they're young. They're weak.
I was teasing them the whole time. I'm like, I can show you how to do it. I can teach you the shortcut. or the easy way. No, I'm not going to do it.
No,
I'm not going to use the easy way.
The video where Noah died, I'm like, you're not supposed to go down the middle. You're supposed to go down the side so you just fall.
Well,
you just fall.
And that was like the 4th video that I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he kept getting further and further and further. Like, that was the second to last screen that he had to do. And he was, so when I did it, he's like, that was it? I was almost there. I was like, welcome to Gamerhood, son.
Yeah, well, you didn't know, son.
You don't know.
You didn't know. And so, yes, Borderlands 3, Jai and I, right before the show, he was telling me, because I told him how TL mentioned Borderlands 3. I played Borderlands 1. I enjoyed the daylights of that game, but that was like, I dare say 2000 and I don't know, 2008, 2009. I think I was incredibly single, so I was more than able to put in the time every time going home. And I think one of my good friends, a viewer of the show, James Gian, he carried me through the end of that because you could play online co-op, and we jumped in his. He brought his like level whatever Gunzerker, and we just plowed through the end of the game when we opened up the final vault. I'm like, all right, cool.
Don't have to play this anymore.
Yeah, it's an RPG with guns, my friend. It's like every time you kill an enemy, you get an XP.
Intrigued.
Did I just tell you how you can punch the bullets? Is that what I just did to you? Because when Borderlands 1 was presented to me, it was one of my favorite stores out in Camarillo, California. I don't know if any of my Facebook friends who worked at that store are watching. Props to GameStop Camarillo out there. They told me, Dre, you have to try this game, because I knew nothing about Borderlands. They had a used copy, like, Dre, here's a used copy. If you don't like it, you bring it back to me. I know you won't be back here for a month, but I will honor the policy. Like, if I don't like this game, I can bring it right back to their store the following month, and they give me my money back. I took it home. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this. You know, I'll hold you to your bargain. It was a Lisa Gray and her lovely future husband. God, why can't I remember your name, homeboy? Brandon. I believe Brandon was his name. I'm so sorry. I'm Facebook friends with both of them. They might watch this. I'm sorry.
He really is.
I really am sorry. I'm a terrible human being sometimes with names. And I took the game home, popped into my Xbox 360, and oh my lord, it's like as you level up, your bullets get stronger. Like you're doing more damage. It's an RPG with guns, and it's a first-person shooting RPG. Little did I know this would be my future. And there's millions of guns because everyone just drops guns. You can only hold 10, but there's millions. Everything just drops a gun. You're like, all of a sudden, oh, cool. This thing melts people. All right. I like that. All right. The bullets explode. All right. I like that too. Hey, it's a shotgun that shoots out acid.
See, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
I have your attention. Yeah, the first Borderlands is a lot of it. You're chasing down these vaults. As Handsome Jack is a giant asshole or something to that effect. It's a really fun game, and as you there's crazy bosses. A lot of the characters are madcap. They say it's an M-rated game, so they say lots of objectionable things and curse at you and all that fun stuff. And so Borderlands 1, really good. Borderlands 2, I didn't buy right away, but I got it for free. The whole PlayStation Plus, they put it up for free at some point. Borderlands 2 for free. I'm like, oh, cool. I remember I was playing the hell of that game right before Destiny came. I hadn't bought a PS4 yet. And then I was playing Borderlands, and then Destiny, ooh, and then I fell off into the world of Destiny. And I did eventually rebuy Borderlands 2 for the PS4. Mm-hmm. And then I played with my friend, my Destiny client. Hey, let's play Borderlands. I'm like, oh, I'll run out and buy it. All right, PS4. And then we play 4 players, and it's just pure chaos. Like I'm playing with this experience because you just keep carrying you could carry your character across from PS3 to PS4 to even the Vita version that someone gave to me for free. They gave me the code. Here's the Vita code for Borderlands 2. I don't want it. I'm like, oh, cool. I loaded up my character from my PS3 and my PS4 save onto the Vita, and I was on playing Borderlands 2 on my Vita.
No, that's cool.
It's an insane game. It's a lot of fun. Borderlands 3 has come out, but yeah. There is 1, no money, and 2, there is no time.
I remember time. I don't have time.
You've been a father for over 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know what time is.
Time is a relative concept. That's like the Nintendo Switch is really nice because it lets you sneak in game time. That's why I've been playing Super Metroid on my Nintendo Switch like 5 or 10 minutes at a time, or sometimes like I'll catch an hour. I'm like, ooh, I have an hour to myself. Or I'll play during my lunch at work. I'm like, all right, I ate my lunch in 10 minutes. Boom, I got 20 minutes to just plow through and get in my damn gravity suit. But today I did discover, like, well, most restriction while I was on one today, like, see, the only problem with this the NES, whatever library, the Super Nintendo library on this Nintendo Switch, you have to be online.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, I thought I had found a workaround. I'm like, yes, airplane mode. Fuck you, Switch. You don't know if there's internet. But apparently, shame on me. Like, I took it back to work, and the whole weekend, airplane mode, all right, cool. Work it in, play a little bit there, all right, cool. I get to work, it connects, like, even though it's on airplane mode, it connects to the work Wi-Fi. And I try to play it, it's like, oh, we need to verify if you can play this, because you have to have the Nintendo online bullshit or other. To play those NES games and the Super Nintendo games, you have to have that as to prove. You have to prove it, like PlayStation Plus, like Xbox Gold, Nintendo Online. You have to have that bullshit. And it had to verify. Motherfuckers, I gave you your $20 like a year ago.
I gave him a lot more than $20. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. All right, so I won't get you started on that, but let me get you started on this. So last week was the Tokyo Game Show. And apparently 2 of my coworkers went to Tokyo.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, these 2 white boys I work with, they're super duper uber gamers. They were managed. I don't know if you remember Game Quest from the Montebello Mall. Both these guys were managers, because the company I work for is kind of like the subsequent what Game Quest became. They became a game distributor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where that's my current job. Hey, there's a cat. Hey, you want to be on the show? We're on the show now. Welcome to hell. Ow, claws. Bye. And so the day, like last week, they weren't at work. I'm like, hey, boss, we're the brothers. They're in Tokyo. And today I got to see a bunch of photos. And they actually went. They went the 2 days, because there's 2 days for the business, the people in the business, and the 2 days for the public. I feel E3 should adopt something like this, where it's 2 days.
I thought that they did that.
No, they did 3 hours for. It's 3 hours for the industry, and then the rest of the day is everyone mixed together.
Oh no, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was like when I went to this past year, it was not great. As soon as whatever 3 hours later hit, it was like, no! It's like Maximus was standing in front. It's like, unleash hell.
Yeah, no, dude.
But they got to go, and then the first thing they did, they ran straight to the Square booth and got in line to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Mm-hmm. And just like a lot of videos came out, because they put out a new trailer through a Tokyo Game Show, and actually they confirmed my suspicions. As I was joking with you when we were talking on the phone last Friday to confirm this episode today, I was joking with you. Oh, you mean Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
And they confirmed that yes, it's an action RPG now.
Which is fine.
There is no menus. I mean, there's no there's it's not a old time. It's not Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, which is
it's
fine.
Kingdom Hearts with the skin. But I think they said that there was very much. It's still played like a Final Fantasy game, but it's very much real time rather than I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna wait for you to do your shit. All right, you're gonna wait there while I do my shit.
Yeah,
and, like in the olden days.
Because from the videos that I saw, it looked more like Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
But
which was also directed by Tetsuya Nomura.
That guy should never be allowed to touch a game. He should go back to doing character designs. He's really good at character design. But he should never be allowed to direct a game ever again.
No.
Just
I can't get through Kingdom Hearts 3.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the most fun you'll have being disappointed.
That first half hour, the first 45 minutes, I played for 10 minutes and watched for 35.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, cool, I'm beating up bad guys, and then another 5 minutes of cutscene. I'm like, why? Why?
Because he graduated from the Hideo Kojima School of Game Direction. And, again, there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, when I played through the game, like, every time the Disney rides come up, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun. And you're, like, on the pirate ship, or you're on the Buzz Lightyear thing.
Astro Blasters?
Yeah, you're on that one. Or you're on the carousel. Or, whatever other Disney rides they have. I think they've got, like, Splash Mountain and whatnot.
Okay.
So they've got all these cool things. They're like, this is like, and I hate
a lot of fun.
Disneyland. I hate it. But it was still so much fun to play, but the story was so... Yeah. And then they took all the Final Fantasy... They took all of the Final Fantasy out of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, which was very disappointing.
Very. So instead of fighting Sephiroth at the end of the game, you fight another Heartless. I'm like, this is, well, I don't curse anymore, but this is some hokey stuff right here.
It's unfortunate.
And that's being nice about it.
Yeah.
So, Final Fantasy VII coming out again, and I saw.
And it looks like, alright, so I guess maybe it's Final Fantasy 15 plus 7.
And
15 minus 7.
I'm okay with that.
But 15 minus 7 is 8. No!
Which they did release.
I know, they did a remastered. So now the you're the best looking guy here isn't a meme anymore.
Yeah.
Now you can actually see his face instead of just a bunch of pixels.
Squares.
You're the best looking guy here.
He looks like a Monet. A very bad
Good from
Monet.
afar, but far from good.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, 20 years ago, that was top notch, dude. We loved that
That
stuff.
that was state of the art. It's funny to think about that. I had that conversation with my boss. It's funny because to circle back to Super Metroid, like I had more fun playing Super Metroid than I did trying to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I had that on my Switch. I'm like, all right, cool. I was really excited for that. I played that. And I'm like, this feels like work. This feels like a slog.
Yeah.
And I hope that this Final Fantasy VII remake. Now that I see it's like Kingdom Hearts, I'm actually more inclined to want to play it than I was before. I'm like, I didn't want to play through Final Fantasy VII again. Fuck Materia.
I do.
Fuck Materia in the ass.
I
hate Materia.
I love it.
I know you love it, but you love bad things.
I do not. I like.
Okay, that's true.
bad
You don't
things.
love Final Fantasy VIII, so it's true. You don't always love bad things, but you occasionally love to torture yourself and anyone around you.
I can neither confirm nor deny that allegation.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm actually inclined to I would play it, but again, I don't have time. I'd rather fire up Super Metroid or fire up Super Mario World or ideally Super Mario 3. I'd rather play those games than play any modern game now.
And that's the thing, because the best thing about those games is, especially with Super Metroid, because we've played through it so many times, we could breeze through it in about anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. 5 if we're just trying to 100% the thing. Well, for me, anyway.
Not for you, I was kind of. I'm playing on cruise control. I'm just having fun. As soon as I got my X-ray vision, I'm like, yeah, let's look around. Let's see what my latent memory doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
But this modern stuff, like this Final Fantasy VII remake, I hope it's not work. I hope it's not a slog. I hope it doesn't feel like that. That's a problem I have with a lot of modern gaming. They try to eke out more time out of the game instead of making a game that's fun that makes you want to keep playing it. Like the last time that happened to me was Bravely Default. That game was so fun, even though it was fucking hard. I had fun and I kept playing it till I got to the very end, and I fought the optional bosses. I was going through all the other bullshit.
I did not get through all the optional bosses.
Yeah. It's
I
it's a
got
goddamn
to the
nightmare.
last one, but then when they make you fight everybody all in one sitting, I was like, dude, there's no way I'm doing
It's
that.
unpleasant at best, but yeah. There isn't that aspect of fun. Now it's a lot of these games make you feel like work. And I'm glad you brought up Hideo Kojima because they showed Death Stranding, a game which, I don't know if Sam Zia is going to watch this, but I know Sam is super hard jizzing everywhere excited about this game because he's he loves the crazy kookiness. Because I think as I explained it to my boss, Sam really loved that Silent Hill PT demo that came out way back when.
Yeah.
It was Hideo Kojima was going to be doing Silent Hill, but then Konami got stupid and decided to
No more games.
let him go. We're oh no, we don't want you. No,
We want
and then,
pachinko machines now.
yeah, we only want money. That's all we want, money. And, it's digital games and pachinko. They don't want physical copies. My boss, he's trying to get a physical copies of those Castlevania collections and the Contra collections. He's trying to make that happen. My boss is trying to convince Konami, hey, why don't we do some physical ones? Because old people like us still like holding our physical copies of games in our hands and not depending on a digital connection that has to verify that you've paid for it or some other bullshit like I'm struggling with right now. Motherfuckers.
It's funny you say that because I think yesterday I was trying to watch Bill Burr's special.
Okay.
And for whatever reason the connection at my house just kept going out. I was like, okay, this is hokey bullshit. And I can't watch what I'm trying to watch. It's this is why you still need physical media, because when my cable connection goes down or when my internet goes down, it's oh look, that's okay, fine, no problem, dunk, and it's on.
Right.
I mean, the convenience of being able of not having to take a disc out of the case and all that other mundane stuff that we've just been accustomed to doing is nice. It's nice just to be able to point and click something, but at the same time, when pointing and clicking does not work, I need a physical copy.
Yeah,
that is guaranteed.
gotta have it. Saturday, me and my wife, we were here watching. I popped in Anchorman. No fucking problem, because I have the fucking disc. We popped in Thor Ragnarok to listen to Taika Waititi not talk about his movie. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, no fucking problem.
Yeah.
Don't need the internet for that. But it's just insane, though. But, alright, as usual, when we put us together, the tangents become even more tangential. Normally, me on my own, I'm on tangent. I make tangents, but us together, we just go on tangents of tangents of tangents. Squirrel! Where? Okay, so we were talking about Hideo Kojima's game. And Death Stranding, they did a demo. I couldn't sit and watch the 45 minutes of demo because I would have been bored to tears. So I read Kotaku's review of. They kind of gave us the bullet points of that game, and from everything it sounds like, it's going to be a technical marvel. There's going to be friggin', if you love Easter eggs or if you love the video game industry, like every video game developer is hidden in the game, like their characters in the game or whatever. If you have a weird fascination with Jeff Keighley, he's all over the game or whatever. But the thing that stuck with me the most was like Hideo Kojima always tries to put in this element of
realism.
Thank you. You literally ripped that word right out of my head. Realism. Where, like in Metal Gear Solid 3, that's where I broke up with Hideo Kojima. I still kept buying some of his games, but I consciously broke up with Hideo Kojima with the whole having to eat all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
And Snake Eater. Like, oh, gotta kill this thing, gotta eat. Oh, stomach's grumbling. Alright, you can, oh, shit, you ate the bad thing, you're gonna go shit yourself now. It's like, wait, I gotta kill the alligator, and I gotta kill the snake, and I gotta kill the thing, and you're literally a snake eater, and like, and it was like, it was constant, nonstop. Oh, snake's hungry. Solid Snake needs food. You're hungry. Ugh. You start grumbling, like, your grumbling alerts the guards, and all the guards come and kill you, and all right, let's try this again. And the whole, like, you have to have perfect camouflage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is so much work. So I literally just have a signed copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 that just does nothing now.
I feel
Except,
the same about mine.
Yeah, you have yours, don't you? Don't you have
Zone of the Enders?
Zone of the Enders.
Runner.
You have that signed. Yeah, it's just like, no, what's the point? And then so I see the cool realism mechanic that he does in this one is that, you know, in all video games, we have an inventory of things. There's a whole lot of stuff. You have a whole lot of stuff, and they go magically into the pocket universe, which is a pocket. Like, oh, you don't have to worry about.
I will fit these in my bag of holding.
Yeah, exactly. The bag of holding. The bag of holding is bottomless. It just holds things. I think the last time I saw a realistic depiction was Dragon Quest VIII, where you just always had that a little buggy or a wagon with you.
Yeah.
All your stuff was in there. That made sense, you know, realistically. But yeah, you still had an infinity of like, it was like a TARDIS. It was bigger on the inside. But in this game, like, you're a delivery guy. You're delivering supplies to the United Cities of America, and you're trying to reconnect the strands of all these cities together. Death Stranding. And you're reconnecting you have to deliver stuff. And of course, because it's a Sony first party game, you have to drink your Monster Energy drink and deliver your FedEx packages.
That sounds insanely boring.
And not only that, you realistically have to carry all this stuff. So if you want a lot of weapons on you, you have to position them on your, like, all your little clips and hooks and whatever in your big old backpack, and it's gonna literally affect your center of gravity. There is a center of gravity meter where if you put too much shit on poor fucking whatever his goddamn name is from Walking Dead, I forget his character's name, but you guys, Daryl from The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, he's playing Whitey McWhiteson. No, he really has, like, the whitest white name. Like, Hideo Kojima went to the white dictionary. It's like, what's the whitest name? John Whitesudden or something like that.
Jesus.
I don't quote me on that, but you can. And, yeah, you have to position everything. Or if you put everything too much on one side, you'll limp. Yeah, or if you take a sharp turn, all your shit will fall out. You'll fall over.
Yeah, nobody wants to play that.
And, of course, you also have to carry a baby. Not in the traditional way, like my wife is carrying a baby in her womb, but you have to carry a baby in a little artificial womb who'll give you thumbs up, and he's like really cool. He's like the little, he's a baby who lets you see all the monsters. I don't know what the relationship is in that. Hideo Kojima writes, he should write books.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what I said.
He should write books.
Kojima should be the one guy who can make a good video game movie. Just give him $150 million and say, here, Make the Metal Gear movie that the fans have been clamoring for since 1999 or 7 or whatever it was.
I will tell you the first and last problem of that. That movie will be 6 hours long.
Well, yeah.
And it will make no goddamn sense.
And that's what I said. But just like how...
I don't think I can take a 6-hour cutscene.
Oh, hell no. But that's what I was saying. You'd have...
War never ends.
$50 million of those dollars is going to go to his editor. Like, he needs somebody...
Does he have an editor?
No. That's why
then
he hasn't
that's
had
the
an
problem.
editor. He hasn't had an editor since, like...
MGS1?
Yeah. No. He hasn't had an editor since... Zone of the Ender's the second runner.
Okay.
That was the last coherent game that he's ever made, and even that one was all over the place. But dear God, was it so fun to play. You just never got past that snow part. But
I wonder if he had an editor for Snatch.
Snatcher? Probably.
Snatcher? That was him?
Yeah.
I don't know why I always call the game Snatch, but...
Obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
But I mean, that's the thing. He's got to have somebody who's going to sit...
Is this the same game where Ritas punches anyone who looks at his crotch too long?
Probably.
Maybe. He can pee. You can. That's the brothers told me. You can pee on command in the game.
Why?
Apparently that has something to do with your bodily fluids can harm these monsters that come at you. Apparently you carry a blood grenade. And you throw the blood grenade at the monsters and the monster explodes.
You know what this game sounds like?
What does it sound like?
Have you ever heard of that comic? It's written by... I think it's called T-Rex Cop, where it's written by
a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that. Like, that's what it sounds like.
Like
Axe
Cop.
He had a kid, and he was like, hey, like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, like, this is the video game equivalent of that. His kids came up with an idea, and he's like, excellent job, Jimmy. And he made a game, and it was like, what in God's name were you thinking, you moronic retard? Like, kill that kid and start over. Make another one. That one's obviously too dumb to live.
Yeah, no, you throw a blood bag, and then, like, if you don't have a blood bag, you just use your own. You just, like, pop, and you fill up a little bag, and you're like, all right, and blood bag, and you just kill the giant DT, whatever, death trample, death, beached, BT, it's a beached something. I don't know.
Sounds retarded.
And the baby's like a BB, is your baby buddy. Yeah, no, he has no one to stop him from whatever nonsense he's like.
It's like George Lucas making the prequel trilogy. He just does. This sounds cool, and he just throws stuff in.
T.L. Reeve, an author, it sounds like one of my first novels where I put everything into it and thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
but this guy just does it. He just does it every time. He has no one to stop him anymore. He has no one who stops him. It's insane, but that's beside the point. I mean, just Death Stranding. I hope Sam Zia enjoys it. I kind of want to be there. Like, I want to know when Sam Zia buys it. I want to be there sitting next to him. I want to watch him play it. And I want to see at the exact point where he realizes...
He got gassed for $60?
I've made a huge mistake. I hope... There is a special edition that comes with the BB. Little baby butt. It comes with a baby in a womb. The silicone baby in a big old silicone womb. I don't know. It looks insane. They're gonna really take a lot of these Hideo Kojima fans for like $150 or $200. I don't know. I want this little baby on my desk. Look at this creepy thing that I just put on my desk. It's amazing.
They're like feeding into the stereotype that gamers cannot get laid, and by proving it by saying not only can you not get laid, because you can't get laid, you'll never have a baby. So here
is a silicone plastic
baby.
synthetic baby in a bag that you could put on your
That's
desk.
Gonna suck.
Yeah, look it up.
So
Death
hard.
Stranding Special Edition. It's just money. It's like at work we're also doing like third party logistics for this anime company, and good lord, the things I have seen. Body pillows.
The Final Fantasy VII remake is going to be awesome, and I'm going
I
to
hope for your
100 hours into that game.
I hope for your sake it is. I will not slag it as I always have, because now that I know that it's not Final Fantasy VII and it's just Final Fantasy VII reimagined, Final Fantasy VII Special Edition, I'm like, okay, I hope for your sake and for Sam Zia's sake and for whoever else out there loves Final Fantasy VII, I hope for you guys that it does not suck.
You are going to love it when you start to play it.
I will not play it.
Until you get
because
to
I will have a child, and I will not be able to play it.
You'll find time. Don't worry.
I will not have fun is time. 2 is money. I don't want to have 2 nickels to rub together once this baby's born. I don't know how you did it with Noah, And how you did it the other time around with Gianna, I don't know how you did it.
Like the Merovingian said, how can you ever have time if you don't make time? Certain things I made time for. Be like, Daddy, you shut the hell up. Daddy ain't with you. I already told everybody March 3rd, 2020, Final Fantasy VII comes out. I've already kicked everybody off the TV.
Well, you've already warned them. Daniel Wong here says no games for at least 3 years.
That's not true.
I know. My good buddy, my Destiny Fire Team buddy Art, who would have his baby in like the little baby harness while he would play.
Like Noah,
I don't think my wife would approve. I don't think my wife will approve of that. So
Noah would sit on. He would fit on my lap, and I would just be like this, tap 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 tap, and Noah would be crashed out on my lap, sleep, and I'm sitting here while Sephiroth is beating me like a government mule. It's just, but yeah, no, you can find time. It's not going to be easy to get time. But
I can't imagine it will be. I'm trying to set up a streaming show at work so I can at least do a little bit of gaming at work.
Even like this, here's going to be your biggest conundrum. Do you want to sleep or do you want to game?
I'm going to choose sleep.
You say that until you really want to game.
I feel like I'm not going to be sleeping. I don't know. This child is half me.
Yeah, trust me.
It's half me. My child is going to be a wild animal.
I
I was a wild animal as a child. I ran everywhere. The doctors told my parents I had some sort of like mental disorder. I was just a child who was excited.
Say that about every kid.
I just was excited boy. I loved running everywhere and I loved wrecking shit.
Yeah, that's every child.
And I'm just an adult who likes to run around and wreck shit. I mean,
that's all of them. That's their default.
I don't have ADD. I'm just a crazy person.
No one turns that switch off. My child can't sit down for a damn thing. It's like, I just need you to not move so I can brush your frickin' hair.
Oh, your daughter. I was wondering which one, but
yeah, she won't sit her ass down for anything.
Noah sits down for
Noah sits
Fortnite.
down now. Well, actually, you know what he's done with Fortnite. Like,
what has he done?
He's done with it. He's like, yeah, he'll pop it on every once in a while, but he's not like obsessed with Fortnite.
Not like when you brought him to my house for WrestleMania or
not like that.
And then he was just like he needed the Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi
and I refused. Here's the password. Figure it out. Louie. He had no clue how to spell it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, spell it out. Good luck, buddy. What? I'm like, yeah, I just told you the password. Figure it out.
Yeah.
How do I spell it? Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
You were born too young.
He's not that guy anymore, thankfully.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
he'll find another game to occupy his time, which will probably be Mega Man 2 until he passes Quick Man stage. But
he'll be occupied for a good long while once he gets to Wily 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just like...
Wily 1 was bad. Wily 2, I can't imagine. It's going to be half... Well, you see, Daniel Wong, it's half me, half Rosa, so we don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I will tell you this about
like
children.
the Powerpuff Girls. Like, oh no, Element X. Ah!
Here's the thing about kids. All of your good qualities and all of her good qualities will be amplified in this child. And you're going to be like, this is the best thing that could possibly happen to me. Why did I wait so long for this? And I will tell you, because you are a sane person who realized that, waiting until later in life when I'm smart, and now was a good time. But all of the bad qualities that you and her have will be amplified in this child, and then you will ask yourself, what in the flying hell was I thinking? Why didn't I pull out? And I will then say, because you're an idiot, and that's how pussy's designed, to keep you in there so that you can't pull out.
Penis flytrap, you say?
It's a penis flytrap. It's like the equivalent of it's like honey to a fly, or money to a gold digger, or Bayonetta 3 to a Jai. Like, you can't stay away from it.
Bayonetta 3 is a video game, for those of you who don't know.
Heathens. But that's...
And you'll be happy to play that on your Nintendo Switch whenever that comes out in 2020 or 2021 or whenever
it's only been 3
Hideki
years.
Kiyama-san finishes it.
Yeah, it's only been 3 years since they, announced the trailer and haven't given anything since then. But
all right, so since we've already gone blue here, we might as well. We're gonna skip Bad Boys Forever. They shouldn't make it.
I want them to make it. I'm glad that it's finally coming out.
You're 10 years too late.
Bad Boy, yeah.
You're 10 years too late.
That's the problem.
I was like, because this last topic, we're going to need as much time. We're going to go over an hour. I'm going to warn everybody. We're going over an hour unless you just succinctly make
the
point.
problem with Bad Boys 3 is this. Just like Bad Boys 2, it came out way too late.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Lawrence, Jesus Christ, did you see how bad he looks?
He is... Oof.
On one hand...
Woosa.
Yeah.
Woosa.
But at the same time, it's like, Bad Boys is easily one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in
We
my
used
life.
to quote that goddamn movie all the time.
I still quote that movie.
Mike
all the
Lowry.
time.
I still quote it, but when we worked together at
Oh,
GameStop,
Jesus
we got
Christ.
Mike Lowry over here, King
Marcus
Ding-a-ling,
Pet.
and I was Marcus Burnett.
Because he was the good one.
You got any brown sugar?
Nah, man, you got too much bass in your voice. That scares white folk.
Don't be scared, we're Negroes.
I can watch that movie to this day and laugh like it's the
First
time
one
I see
is
it.
just amazing. Second one makes me laugh on occasion. It gave me woosah. I still say woosah all the
Everybody
time.
does.
I pinch my eardrum. Go woosah.
It gave us
Woosah.
Bad Boys 2 is a movie that has, it's not a funny movie, it has funny parts.
It proved that Michael Bay he can only come if he sees explosions.
Yeah. Again, just like with George Lucas and just like with Hideo Kojima, he needs an editor. That movie was 45 minutes too long.
Yeah. See, the first one was edited.
The first
Second
one was 2 hours long. 1 hour and 59 minutes from the opening credits to bam,
Dun, dun,
done.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, from that to, you know,
dun, dun,
I don't know
dun,
why you
dun,
got shot
dun,
going
dun.
home to your wife. You got shot in your leg. Your dick probably don't even work. From that to that, 1 hour and 59 minutes. Done.
Perfect movie.
Bad Boys 3 is going to be like... Bad Boys 2 was 2.5 hours? What the flying hell does it need to be 2.5 hours for?
Because he needed a nut so hard watching that
Dude.
movie because of all the explosions.
Yeah, it was a
Bad Boys 2 did have a dope soundtrack. I love the Bad Boys 1 soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's me against the world, baby.
Loved it. Bad Boys 2.
I got that sound. I still have that CD. I still have that Bad Boys 1 CD.
Shy Guy? Yup. Loved that song. Loved it.
Bad Boys 2. I mean,
Shaky
it's fine.
Tail
I don't. You like it less than I do. I enjoy Bad Boys 2 because it gave me more of what I wanted more than being jackasses.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle.
And that whole B plot of him, you know, Mike Lowry settling down with Marcus's sister.
Unnecessary to the plot.
Unnecessary. She
They
could
could
have
cut
just
that whole thing and then
She could have just been in the movie as, oh, here's a chick that Mike Lowry's falling in love with. She didn't have to be
related to Marcus at all.
No, that was unnecessary. It could have just been cool, but then, now they gotta get all, I'm crazy. I'm wearing my Dwayne Wade jersey. Ah.
Terrible.
Yeah. So this part 3, you have confidence in it.
I am.
Daniel Wong has confidence in it, but I have a vote of no confidence.
Skeptically optimistic is what I am for
I mean,
Bad Boys
like,
3.
I wanted this movie like 5-10 years ago.
We should have had this movie 5-10 years ago. You know what who would have been good for it? The dude who did the A-Team. And he was supposed to direct it, and then they were like, yeah, we don't really like what you're doing. I'm like,
So obviously Michael Bay is not directing this.
thank God.
Because Michael Bay doesn't direct movies anymore.
Because it would have been 4 hours long. The only thing Michael Bay wants to direct now are Transformers, and he should never have touched that
I think
franchise.
they've been taken away from him.
Good.
No, because after that Bumblebee movie, I still haven't watched it, but I heard it was good.
Bumblebee was amazing.
So, all right, let's get to the main topic before we're going to go over. So, Dave Chappelle has a brand new Netflix special,
which you should see.
Sticks and Stones. I've been waiting to talk about this until I could have this gentleman next to me. Not only because he is black, but more importantly, you're a comedian and you're a defender of comedy.
I am.
You're very intelligent about comedy. I wanted someone who's also very intelligent about comedy to be sitting here with me while we discuss this special, because it has caused a great bit of controversy. Because he has doubled down on the jokes that made people mad, and the last two specials that made people
Which
angry.
is what he was supposed to do.
Yes, and it bothers me. The only thing that bothers me about the special is that people are going after him. And no, this is comedy.
Comedy is the last bastion of truth that this world has. And the problem is, okay, think of it like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, here's Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is that friend that everybody should have. And by that I mean he's the guy who says, that thing you're about to do, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that. He's not the guy who co-signs on all this shit you're going to do. He's the guy who says, don't do that. This is going to be bad, and these are going to be the consequences for the thing you're about to do. That's Dave. And people do not like when they're called out on all the bullwong that they do.
Because people drastically underestimate Dave's intelligence.
Oh,
Dave is one of the smartest stand-up comics out there. He's not just saying shit to cause problems.
No.
He's saying shit so people wake the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, that whole... I feel like the people who are really offended, like, I guess, whatever, the LGBT, because I love that whole bit, how he just referred to them as, the alphabet gang. And I love how... He is not mocking. I was like, or I don't know. He is just pointing things out that he sees.
Yeah.
And they're only hearing the bad parts. They're only picking and choosing things that he's saying. They're not listening to the entire sentence.
No, it's like arguing with a woman.
I'm gonna leave that one alone because I'm married.
Which means you know what it's like. It's like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say this about you, and yes, honey, it's true. I don't understand. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And if you would stop doing that, there would be some harmony in the relationship. And now you're mad at me because of something that you did. I'm only calling out you on your errant behavior, and you're mad at me for telling you your truth. How am I the bad guy here?
Make this a woman thing, but
I'm just saying, if somebody
you're making a for instance, but yeah, he's calling out a lot. Like, he's intelligently, like, he is he is not out there with a sledgehammer slamming the ground.
No.
He is out there with a precision drill, drilling holes and pointing out things that are wrong with everything that's going on.
When he did the impressions was glorious. When he said, if you do something, I don't care if it's 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you do anything mad, I'm going to make sure that your life is ruined. You're never going to do anything again. Who's that? And the audience is like, and then Dave's like, that's you. I was like, that's the second best line. That's the second most intelligent line in that whole set. Mm-hmm. Because he just did what I said. He pointed out all the bullshit that people do. This cancel culture that everybody's done, it's like, okay, this person did this. But now, is it so bad that, is your hatred for this person or is your disagreement with this person that bad that you are willing to make it to where this person can no longer provide for their family? Like, I'm telling this to Noah yesterday, and I'm like, dude, let's say that for whatever reason your teacher is racist and they're like, Sieg Heiling, all their, they're doing all that. Fine, I don't care. Okay, like, now if they're sitting here and they're coming and I gotta have a parent-teacher conference because you're failing a class because they don't like half-breed children, okay, now that I have a problem with. That guy shouldn't be a teacher. But dude, we're all talking about math.
It's context, and like, I feel like a lot of times in this cancel culture, like, context is not being taken. Like James Gunn. Yeah. Contextually, it's like what young James Gunn said back in those days. He was just trying to be fucking edgy and shitty, but this current James Gunn is not that person anymore, but yet we're trying to kill him for being that guy. A lot of times for words.
People don't want to give you a chance to evolve.
Yeah, so when someone is a monster and is a continual proven to be a monster, like, let's say, a Harvey Weinstein, that motherfucker needs to be canceled.
Yeah.
Cancel that guy. But it's just like, and it's weird, like, when Dave talked about Louis C.K. And I was just like,
Louis C.K. was a good friend of mine until he died in a freak masturbation accident. Like, come on, man. And the crazy thing is, he's like, and he broke it down, and the crazy thing is, Dave broke it down, or Dave told the same story that not only did Louis C.K. say, but all the women who accused Louis C.K. of jerking off in front of him gave the same story. It wasn't like, hey, girl, why don't you come over and I'm going to lock the door like Matt Lauer and then I'm going to jerk off in front of you. No, he was like, hey, I'm going to jerk off. You could leave if you want to. And they stayed. Bitch, leave. The fuck is wrong with you? If I don't want to see somebody jerk, if I come to Dre's house and he's like, hey, Jai, I'm jerking off. You want to give me a minute? Yeah, dude, I'll wait in the car. You let me know when you're done. Please wash your hands before you give me a dap. Like, come on. Like, I'm not going to stick around for that, and neither should anybody else, unless you're interested. Now, somebody's going to say, oh, well, maybe they didn't have a choice, and I felt scared because he's in a position of power.
If he's in a position of power, then you should be calling this out, like, immediately.
Nowhere in your mind.
Not like several years later. You should have been immediately.
Like, was he flinging sperm at you like dude in Silence of the Lambs? I can smell your twat. The fuck out of here. He's not flinging the shit at you like monkey poo. What the hell is wrong with you? You're blaming him for because you stayed and watched?
Yeah, it's just, Dave makes all these, salient points. He's making these intelligent points, and people just aren't listening. And he's telling some savage-ass jokes during the whole time.
That Michael Jackson one was hilarious.
Like, you could tell the severity of, like, he knew how bad he was being by the amount of steps he would take walking back towards the door before he walked back. That's like Dave's move. Like, every time he knows he is wrong for saying it, he turns around and he's like walking back. He's like, oh fuck. Like, during that Michael Jackson, he took like 15 steps back and he had to come all the way back forward.
Here's the best part. He's not even wrong for saying it. To say he's wrong is wrong, because what he did is he Rick James that line. He was a habitual line stepper, and he said, here's your line. He's like, fuck your line, nigga, fuck your line. That's what he did every single time. He did it with the impression, he did it with Michael Jackson, he did it with the alphabet people, he did it with whites. Oh my God, he did a whole 20 minutes on white people and how they need to be disarmed. I don't know how to disarm them. And then he came up with a great idea, which worked. At least in the state of California, because Black Panthers walked up to the Capitol building armed, and they're like, we can't have niggers with guns. Strictest fucking gun laws in the whole goddamn country. Just saying, bitches. Motherfuckers make me sick. Yeah. But anyway, here's the thing. Dave came, and he called everybody out.
And that's, one of my friends always says, oh no, in comedy you can't punch down, you can only punch up.
That's bullshit, that's a lie.
Dave is punching sideways.
He punched everything.
He punched side. He's not punching down, he's not punching up. He's bam.
He's doing like Bart Simpson versus Lisa way back in the day. I'm gonna do like this, and if you get in the way, and that's what happened.
No, but like he even says in the special, he relates to, like, if he's making fun of somebody, that's because he relates with them on a certain level.
Yeah. Which is what
he relates with the LGBTs because
they're black.
Because
he's black. Fucking oppressed.
These are all oppressed people, and there's that another marvelous point where it's like he's like, I'm glad that you called out. How was it? There was something he talked about how he's trying to normalize it because the normalization.
R. Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, you're normalizing R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And it's like, but
which was a conversation he had with a trans person.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, thank you, because you're normalizing trans people. Because if we don't talk about them, then they're freaks. Then they don't exist. But he is trying to bring. Everyone thinks he's pushing them down, but in a weird way, he is making it normal. He is bringing them up, and for whatever reason, some people only see red, and they just see he's making fun of the trans and the gays and everyone, and like he hates gay. He's black because he hates black people hate gayness. It's like, believe you me, I've seen some photos of my friend Matt when he's at Pride Week. There's plenty of black people there.
Black people can be gay too.
Yeah, I find that the blacks that are most homophobic probably gay. I think it applies to all races. But
thank you. I was right about to say that.
It applies to all races.
The more you are of something,
like all these politicians who are like anti-gay, and they want to find them blowing other dudes in the airport bathrooms and stuff. It's like, yeah.
It's not what it looks like.
I can't wait till there's a videotape of Mike Pence taken in the ass.
I'm waiting for that and for Donald Trump to say niggers. That's all I need. I need that more than I need a shiny Mewtwo in Pokemon Go. That's it.
And that was another. There were so many good lines. There was another line where the Comedy Central standards and practices stops Dave. Like, Dave can't say
faggot.
I was gonna say the British word for cigarette, but thank you, Jai. Yeah, you're like my Obama translator in all those Key and Peele skits. So Dave can't say that word, but he's like, okay, can't say. We're not allowed to say that word on television. And why am I allowed to say
nigga
with impunity? With impunity. He had an entire sketch where the family was named that. And that was fine.
It's the nigger family. That's one of the best skits ever.
And they're like, oh, Dave, you're black.
Well, it's because you're racist. It's because why can't I say faggot, but I could say nigga with impunity?
Oh, you're not gay.
Oh yeah, you're not gay. And then he says,
well,
I'm not a nigger either. Best line of the whole set.
Yeah.
You need to tell, but see, that's how it is. When you're at the top of the food chain, you get to look down on everybody, be like, oh, see, to her, to Renee and standards and practices, to her, she's like, all black people are niggers. That's just, oh my God, you guys can say it because you are it. Listen, white people, I love all of you motherfuckers. I really do. And all of you, here's your pass, okay? All of you can say nigga. You could say nigga, you could say nigger, you can say it around whoever the fuck you want to, all right? But the black person next to you probably won't be as nice about giving you the N-word pass as I am, so you might want to do yourself a favor and shut the fuck up. Just a suggestion. Goat mouth motherfuckers.
It's crazy how like I see all these you know social justice warriors coming to attack Dave Chappelle.
And those are the dumbest motherfuckers on God's green earth.
And it's like you heard the words, but you didn't get the message.
Thank you.
And it's
right
like
there.
They hear the things, but it's like literally the special was titled "Sticks and Stones." They're words.
They're words.
It's how you use them.
People don't want to pay attention to it, but people only want to hear. People only want to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Wait, speaking of that, the guy who chimed in. Oh no, that was on Bill Burr's. Bill
Burr, I guess. It's funny. I find it weird how Bill Burr gets a pass on basically doing a very similar special.
Well,
where he's calling out the truth and saying the truth. It's funny. I point out like, hey. We're like, remember Bill Burr worked on the Chappelle Show?
That's why I hid my watch up my ass.
Go back and find the Dave Chappelle racial draft. Bill Burr's right there, and I'm pretty sure he's in a bunch of other skits too. I'd like to think I think he worked on the show, didn't he?
I don't know if he was a writer for the show, but I know he's been on the show a few times.
He's been on the show. I think most people are probably more familiar with him as being the skinny white guy on Breaking Bad.
Which he got because they were fans of him on the Chappelle Show. But I digress.
Right.
But no, Bill Burr came out with as for why Bill got a pass and Dave didn't. You can attribute that to a couple things. He did it in England.
Oh, okay.
So he did it in England.
He didn't do it in Hotlanta. Well, I was about to say he's white. That's just like period story.
But let's say you don't want to use that as the easy answer. Okay, Bill Burr's white. You know, white people get away with everything. White men can get away with everything. Louis C.K. did a great bit on that too. And if you pull your head out of your ass, you'll watch it and see that he's right.
And remember, Louis C.K. is not white. That guy is technically a Mexican.
He's a whitezican.
He was born in Mexico City.
Yup. Goat mouth. Anyway, but yeah, so he did it in England. Which he calls out at the start of his show. He opens the show saying, "My country's gone to shit," and then he starts talking about Bryan Cranston, who's an actor who got in a bunch of grief because he was an actor playing a quadriplegic. He's like, well, why wouldn't you get a quadriplegic to play a quadriplegic? Because then it's not acting. It's a guy being told
then it's a
to say words.
Then it's a documentary at that point.
It's hilarious. Of course, Bill delivers it way better than I do. Point being, Bill called out a lot of stuff also. He went after a lot of the same things that Dave went after. He went after...
my understanding.
He went after America. He went after... Oh my God. His sexual harassment story...
Oh boy.
...had me in tears. In tears. Because, like, if you compare the two, Dave was talking about Michael Jackson, and he was like, half of us, to which I'm assuming he's going to include himself, have been molested at some point in time. Now, I know lots of people who have been molested, and I feel for each and every one of them. I genuinely do. I can't... I've never been, knock on wood, But I can sympathize and I can empathize. I genuinely can. But at the same time, do you let that define you? You know, and that's what Dave is saying. He's like, and his joke was, he's like, yeah, you know, it's not Michael Jackson didn't look at your asshole. What do we get? We get awkward Thanksgiving dinners every year. That guy gets a great story to tell. What'd you do this summer? Michael Jackson sucked my dick. It can only go up from here. That's the equivalent of Christian Grey. You whores.
For our podcast listeners, that was me hitting my forehead.
And then Bill Burr, he goes and he talks about how he was actually sexually harassed. Textbook definition, to which he even himself says. He says, textbook definition, I was sexually harassed. He's doing a show, or he's about to do a show, woman does her set, comes off, and as she's walking past him, bow, flicks him in the dick. And he talks about how brave he is for coming out with his story, and he uses all of the tropes that the media uses whenever they bring up sexual harassment, but because it's Bill, it's hands down the funniest fucking thing you'll ever see.
I remember his last special, was it the Nashville one? That was like, oof, that was really good too.
Oh my god. He's underrated.
Ew, Christian Grey is an abuser.
Christian Grey is an abuser. He totally is. Yes, 100%. But Christian Grey is proof positive that if you have money and are super fucking hot, you can get away with anything. I saw a meme the other day that said, all these women bullshitting about sexual harassment. You mean to tell me if Idris Elba pops up in your shower, you gonna be like, no, Idris Elba, get out of my shower. Get away. Shut the fuck up. You gonna let him do whatever the hell he wants. I let Idris Elba do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay?
Same.
Shit. Idris Elba.
Same.
God damn it.
That's a beautiful man.
Jesus
I'm secure in my sexuality. But yeah. Yeah.
But I digress. And yes,
C.L. Reeve. Yeah. 50 Shades of Grey is basically Twilight.
Which it was. It was fan fiction, and, you know, and the only reason why that got off the ground is because E.L. James was banging a book publisher. That's it. There you go. Nepotism at its finest. Ta-da!
Well, so
it's
would
not
you
who
say
you are,
that's
it's who
what,
you're sucking.
Would you say it would be very much like Mariah Carey and
Tommy Mottola? Yeah. But, to be fair, Mariah Carey was a backup singer for Babyface before she made it.
Oh, okay.
So, but, with the talent that she had, if Tommy Mottola didn't get her, Babyface would have done something with her.
Right.
So she was gonna make it. Tommy Mottola shot her ass through the roof, though. I'm not gonna say he didn't.
No, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. You're right.
Goat mouth. No, let me stop.
I love that you gave up your vow of swearing again.
I only do it when I'm on the show. I'm gonna get off the show and I'll be like, man, that was such a good show. I probably shouldn't have cussed all that often, though.
I know. I know that you have to let out the full Jai. You have to give everyone the full Jai experience when you're on here. I was always very concerned, like, I'm giving up cussing. I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Put a camera in front of you. All the swear words come out.
I'm like Yosemite Sam. Frackin', shockin', frackin'. But no, it's true. Dave did what Dave was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that was call out what a good comedian is supposed to do. And that is call out society for all of the things that they know they are wrong about, but genuinely believe that they're right about.
I think the thing that has bothered me most about everyone going after Dave, they act like Dave has changed. Like, oh, his comedy has changed. He used to be really funny. Now he's not funny. I'm like, no. You go back and watch his earlier specials. Nothing's changed other than the fact that Dave's really buff now.
Yeah.
That's the only real difference, is that Dave's buff, and I think he gives even less, well, he gives less fucks now, because, you know, he's like, I can give a fuck, I already got Netflix's money.
Yeah. Like, if you go watch Killing Me Softly,
thank you.
And
I
when he's talking about, the one bit that I can remember is when he's talking about how white people will not tell you who they're voting for. Mm-hmm. They will tell you the most in-depth things that are going on in their life, but they will not tell you who they're voting for. And he goes on, he's like, yeah, So Dave, I'm fucking my wife in the ass, and it's like, yeah, but that's really good. But who are you voting for? Whoa, Dave, why are you asking me all these personal questions when I'm trying to tell you about fucking my wife in the ass? Like, you mean that guy, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that guy, you're suddenly offended by because he's making the same kind of jokes?
It tells you a little bit that the culture has changed. It's like, it makes me wonder. Like, I haven't seen the one comic I wanted to reference, and like, I don't know if she's still working. Lisa Lampanelli, because I recall yourself, myself, good old white boy Sean, and all of our respective ladies at the time. We went to go see old LL down there at what was that place? The Orange. Was it Orange or no? It was by the Anaheim Stadium. Whatever.
Yeah.
The Grove.
The Grove at Orange.
The Grove at Orange. And we watched her, and I was thinking back. She goes after, like, she
went after everybody.
Everyone. She goes after her boyfriend's balls.
She went after her boyfriend.
Goes after all the gay, because the
people.
gays love her, the blacks love her because she has a big ass.
But if you recall, she's not talking bad about them.
Well, she's insulting everyone. She's an insult comic.
She's insulting them, but she's insulting that. Like, she'll insult you.
Oh, but she's not doing generalities.
Like, remember,
But black, she's like, gays love LL.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, she'll talk about she talks about everybody like Kathy Gifford talks about everybody. Mm-hmm. So she's not going after them. She's just like, yo, you did this, you did this, you did this. Like, I remember 2 things from that show, or I remember 3 things from that show. There was a Mexican guy in the front, and she was talking to him, and she says, "Do you have a yob?" And I hit the floor laughing. And then I remember she was doing another bit about how
she picked on an Asian dude, right?
White girls date black guys, and she was like, "That dick's definitely worth the drop in your credit score, isn't it?" And then I remember some super hot chick was getting up. She was walking down the aisle to go to the bathroom, and Lisa just stopped the show. Was like, "Look at this bitch here. Oh my God, do you have any idea what I would have to do to get the kind of dick that's thrown at her on a daily fucking basis?" And she was bad too. She was she was the kind of girl that you see in 90s rap videos. That's how she was built. And Lisa's just like, "This bitch, fuck this bitch. I have to put in effort to get the kind of dick that this bitch gets." And dudes are just like throwing the shit at her. This. Like how you just fling water off your hands after you wash them. Like, that's how she probably has dick flying at her. And she's like...
Yeah, I was thinking about the guy. I know there was a roast of freaking Alec Baldwin. And, like, I remember when she used to be on the dais for all these roasts when they got really popular, 10 years ago on Comedy Central.
I don't know what happened.
I was like, I don't know if she's, kind of like, because of her comment, I don't know if she only does freaking shows and doesn't go on TV anymore. Or she can't take her act on television. She can't do a special because...
I mean, she used to be on Facebook, but I mean, she used to pop up all the time on my Facebook feed, but then either 1, she's not on it anymore, or 2, because the algorithms that they change every 30 seconds. Yeah,
I was thinking, because it made me think about that. I'm like, comics, obviously a lot of comics have adjusted their comedy to the social justice, to all this, and then there's your Daves and your Bills, and you're like, fuck this!
Yeah. And
it's like, I can't imagine if someone put on Eddie Murphy raw or delirious on in front of one of these SJWs, or if they put Bill. Well, I guess we can't put on Bill Cosby.
Richard Pryor. Bill Cosby, and that's the thing. That's the thing about this cancel culture. Like, now, I'm not saying that Bill Cosby should be allowed to run free. What Bill did is wrong.
Yeah.
Let's be abundantly clear.
Contextually, he's a monster. Yes, we cancel him.
But The Cosby Show is still one of the greatest shows ever made. Fuck you if you think different. You are wrong. You are proof that you can have a wrong opinion.
I can't look at it the same way.
And 2, his comedy specials are gold.
If
gold.
I Google a Jell-O Pudding Pops commercial, I can't...
You're going to have... It's like watching... but think of it like this. Like when Michael Jackson died, rest his soul, and This Is It came out, I was like, man, I had 2 thoughts in my mind. Man, this was going to be a good ass concert. Damn, that sucks that he died before this happened. And man, it was only going to be the diehard Michael Jackson fans at this concert.
Yeah, it was only going to be the diehards.
Ooh, I mean, like the.
I remember before he died, people were just like, yeah, like his public opinion, but of course, death grants you, the sainthood.
Yeah, patron saint of moonwalking. That was Michael Jackson.
But given enough time, the Jello. Yeah. Thank you. The Jello pop memes. Oh no, and then there was this movie that Sam Zia showed me during my freaking Oh, there's this old ass movie.
Leonard Part 6? Please.
No,
Leonard Part
it was
6.
not Leonard Part 6.
Okay.
It was a comedy. It was an.
Okay. That would definitely not be Leonard Part 6.
There was this comedy that Sam Zia showed me. And it wasn't The Harder They Come. It was something like of that ilk.
Why does that sound like a porn?
Yeah, but it was what I wish Sam was watching so he could tell me what movies. I have the list. The list is on the phone that's currently recording this show. And it was like this, and then the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, oh man, the clues were there.
Yeah.
The clues were there the whole time. You just see Bill Cosby leering and being a monster to all these women in this comedy. I'm just like, the blueprint is here. It seems so obvious in retrospect.
Yeah.
Well,
Same thing with R. Kelly.
Hindsight is really 2020.
Same thing with R. Kelly.
Trapped in the closet.
Not, dude, he married Aaliyah. Everybody forgets about that.
I forgot about that too.
And you know what's crazy?
When she was like 15.
And it was a big thing then, but it got swept under the rug. Why?
Because she died.
No, not even that. Because everybody swept it under the rug. Why? I'll tell you why. For the same reason Kobe's rape charges got swept under the rug, for the same reason Roethlisberger's rape charges got swept under the rug. When you're a winner, people don't give a shit. Be awesome, kids. If you're gonna do something wrong, do something awesome immediately after. But it better be really awesome because people are gonna hang the shit out of you if it's not awesome enough. Okay? If you're gonna rape a bitch, you better take the goddamn Lakers to the promised land. Otherwise, they will fry your black ass like a chicken.
It's funny how those two championships kind of like erase that for like 60 or 70% of people. I mean, there's still always going to be that 15 to 20% that'll always like, I always see it on Facebook.
Fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Fuck
He's
him,
a monster.
Fuck Kobe and all that. But it's like, it is funny how that whole winning thing really does kind of scrub it clean for the people who are like, you know what, I love my sports team.
You know what else will do it? Death. Because, here's proof right here. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best video of all time, and they shot that goddamn skinny white bitch to fucking stardom. Goddamn, that's the worst thing Kanye West did. And then what happened? His mom died. Oh no, his mom died right before, and that's what caused his breakdown.
Well, because he drank Hennessy the whole goddamn time during those fucking VMAs.
Yeah,
he had a bottle of Hennessy the whole time he was.
Which he wouldn't have done when his mom was alive. So his mom caused a breakdown. He went up and acted a fool.
As I always say. He lost the one person in the world who could tell him the word no.
Yeah, like Customato and Mike
Jay-Z would tell him no, but at some point,
his mom
Kanye stopped listening to that no.
His
mom was like the no that like when Kanye's mom would tell him no matter what mental problems he had, he listened to mom.
Yep.
But, as soon as his mom, and then the way she died, trying to,
get bigger titties.
Get friggin' cosmetic surgery to fit into Hollywood. I just freaking...
Keeping up with the Kardashians before that shit was in.
It broke his brain even further. His brain, granted, his brain was already broken. Real talk.
You have to be a genius.
Goddamn. And people always get mad at me, like, I was like, those first 4 albums, like, this is just amazing music. And people are like, I'm like, no,
he's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
Deal with it. But those first 4 albums were fire.
The beats.
Like the ones that burned down the Amazon. Those are Kanye's albums. They're just burning the shit out of all them trees.
Like, I love to point out people who hate Kanye, like, every time there's a TV commercial with a Kanye beat on it, I was like, that Budweiser commercial you just watched, that was a Kanye song. You see that other home mortgage commercial? That was a Kanye song. You see that the fucking that whole summer that the NBA was playing fucking goddamn amazing?
Man,
that's Kanye.
I know that just pissed off white people like nobody's.
It's like the motherfucker. His lyrics were good, but his goddamn beats were fucking.
As a producer, he was top notch.
He's a top notch producer.
And that's the thing.
That's why he gets all these people to work with him, because he fucking helped so many people before anyone knew what his goddamn name was. He used to just be K West in the fucking liner notes for Alicia Keys or fucking Jay-Z. He was just in the liners. He was just a dude who was trying to. He made it big, but he's a guy who should. For his own mental well-being, it probably would have been better if he just stayed a producer.
Probably.
But it probably would have drove him insane. He probably would have killed himself at some point if he never got famous. That's just truth, yo. To take it back to Dave, that was so. he snuck in that line making fun of Kanye, like that French actor, Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett. He got beat up by a guy wearing a guy in Chicago wearing a MAGA hat. Someone go find out the whereabouts of Kanye West. I was like, I was gone. Only motherfucker in Chicago wearing a MAGA hat probably would be Kanye. That was some funny ass shit.
Oh my god!
I was rolling.
I was at work watching that the first time I saw it, and I was on the floor dead. My boss comes in. What are you laughing at?
Thankfully, I was already lying on the couch, so I could die in peace. My wife was in the papa chair, and I was lying on the couch at that point, and I was just like, check on Kanye West. We're looking for someone with a MAGA hat. Oh, dead. I was also dead.
We knew that he was clearly lying. And he broke down the phone call of how it might have gone. Oh my god. He's like, so it was minus 16 degrees, and you were walking outside. You were Subway. Sandwiches? What?
2 a.m?
Hold on. Find out where Kanye West is this evening. Best line.
Dead.
Oh my god.
I was dead on arrival on that one.
As a comedian, he's a genius. He's without peer.
Yeah, Dave is hilarious. It just like put a fine point on it. And just like I said, they heard the words, but they weren't listening to the message.
Yeah.
And that was my base. I wanted to get that out there. I'm sure people will disagree with our feelings on this because
you're wrong.
He said it.
You're wrong. And I'd be the first one to say different doesn't mean wrong. Different means different. But if you genuinely believe that Dave Chappelle should be gone after or canceled or whatever you retards are saying in today's day and age, you're wrong. You are proof that you can have a wrong opinion and you should stop. Go staple your lips closed.
I like that, I as much as I try not to argue with stupid people on the internet, I do occasionally like to get in there and tell people that, that you are wrong because your opinion is not a fact.
Bingo.
I like to tell people, I frequently, as much as I've always scolded you, don't argue with stupid people, you can't win. I like to tell people that opinions are not facts.
Which is not arguing with them.
I'm not arguing with them. I'm pointing out how stupid they are by telling them that just because you believe it doesn't mean it's true.
Yep.
It's like, you could tell me, until you're blue in the face, Endgame is the worst movie ever made. Like, that's your opinion.
And you are more
That's not a fact. I like it. That's my opinion.
I watch it at least 3 times a week.
It's an amazing movie, in my opinion. I love it. That's my opinion.
Because when Cap says Avengers Assemble, I still get goosebumps.
My lord, in the movie theater, I had a convulsion.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I was just like,
Avengers! And then the music stops.
Assemble.
And Thor doesn't yell. That's a goddamn war cry. He's like, yeah! And I'm like, yeah! I was in the theater cheering. Noah and Elvia and Ciara are looking at us like, what is wrong with them? I'm like, we waited a long time for this.
Nirvana. People who hate that movie hate kittens.
Hate freedom.
They hate freedom. They hate. They're just full of hate. T.L. Reeve cried.
I don't blame her. Just manly tears. It was just, that whole part. I was like, Pete's back. And then when he hugged Tony, I was like,
tears.
Oh
just
my
overflowing.
God. Walked out of the theater,
Overflowing.
and there's me and these 2 older cats, and they were talking about how they were crying. I was like, you guys are crying too? It's like, and one dude was like, I wasn't crying. They were just, it was real sad that, and water was coming out of my eyes. I was like, mine too. I'm man enough to admit it.
Like I mentioned on the show a few weeks ago, I rewatched Endgame for the first time since I saw it in the theater when I bought the Blu-ray, because I like owning physical media. And I think I cried more on that rewatch, when freaking, Pete and Tony are hugging, and my wife turns to me and I was like, because I'm a dad. I'm like, I'm a dad now. I'm gonna be a father, and it was just like, blah.
Yeah.
Bonzo, gonzo, goodbye.
What are you doing?
And my wife's like, you're really crying. I'm like, it really gets me because, like Pete and Tony, like father and son. Yeah. And it bothers me when people like right now, after the whole Sony thing, people shit on, I didn't like Spider-Man movies because he's like Tony Stark's sidekick. He's his son, motherfuckers. That's his surrogate son. And Tony was a surrogate father. He provided him the fatherly relationship that Peter has always needed in his life. And for people to reduce that to, he's fucking Iron Man's sidekick and that's why I don't like those movies. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's proof you have a wrong opinion.
Did your dad hate you? Did you not have a father? I didn't have a father, but I have a father, but he's a piece of shit. But that's beside the point. To see that relationship is like, oh, I didn't like the Spider-Man movies because it's all about Iron Man. I'm like, no, it's about the relationship. God damn it.
It's wrong. Some people can have wrong opinions.
Some people, to quote Jai Polidore, some people just don't like freedom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Goddamn communists.
Tell them,
Goddamn communists.
Goat mouth motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. Like a goat.
If you want to keep hearing me call out wrong opinions, you can follow me on Facebook at DreGP Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at DreGP Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at DreGP Podcast. If you want to follow Mr. Jai Polidore, do you? I know we talked about the last time here. Do you even use the Twitter?
Every once in a while I use Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I post
more?
on Instagram more now for whatever reason. Jai Rizard, Jai Rizard. Follow me there. I be
like
on
Charizard, but with Jai.
Yeah, like that. I be on the Facebooks, and I'm on there often too. So where you will find the dankest of memes, and that Zuckerberg will let me get away with.
Yeah, you get put in Facebook jail frequently.
I have to be good now. So.
You've been put in Facebook jail too many times.
Yeah.
I remember when you were gone for a month.
Yeah, I'm up to a month now, so I have to be good. I can't.
It'd be good because the next one's gonna be what, 3 months next time you get put in Facebook jail.
Well, they'll keep doing it a month. I don't know how many times it is
until it gets up to 3, and then 6, like, and then okay, year, and then you done. Then cancel culture gets culture. Jai T. Polidore.
Yeah.
So. Bradney asked if I've watched season 2. I have not. I don't have DC Universe, and since Pete Molini is the one with the DC Universe, and he's taking some time off, so I can't use his DC Universe right now, and I can't afford to add another streaming thing to my current buffet of streaming.
I borrow other people's streaming stuff, so that's how I want. Either that, or I will download it from using nefarious means.
You are a nefarious man that likes to do nefarious things.
Hey, I don't have Showtime, but I have season 1 of Carla Gugino's Jet on my phone because I heart Carla Gugino.
I hope it shows up on what do you call it, on
Hulu or Netflix.
On Netflix. I know most of those Showtime shows. Like I got to catch up on Shameless. I think the last season. Good. If you'd like to be disturbed consistently, but obviously continued with your weird curiosity, I recommend Shameless for you, my friend. It's you'll never look at William H. Macy the same way again.
He was in The Last Dragon. I haven't looked at him the same way in a very long time.
Oh no, my friend. Let's see. Yeah. Bradney uses Showbox.
Yeah, see?
I don't engage in such nefarious things.
You should.
I have Amazon Prime. I have the Netflix. My wife has Hulu as part of her Spotify. I have a WWE Network and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's the limits of my streaming.
See, Showbox is free.
And I will have Disney Plus.
Showbox
because I will watch Disney Afternoon every day with my child.
Yeah, as you
I'm gonna me and my child, once my child is old enough to comprehend, it's gonna be DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck. Damn occasionally right. A little bit of Goof Troop after we watch the Goofy movie.
Yeah,
but
don't watch the second Goofy movie. That was terrible.
There was a second one?
An extreme Goofy movie, and
no.
I do not recommend that you watch it. It is not good.
You have to type in your inner black person. I love Shameless. Yeah, Shameless is, oh my lord. Yeah, Shameless is that show got. Yeah. To use a Jai Polidore quote, there is something wrong with Shameless, and you should get checked.
Oh hell. And I started watching it like a couple of years ago, and I think I got like 2 episodes in, but I forgot everything that's happened, so I need to pick it up again. But right now I'm watching The Good Place, which apparently is what would happen if Jai went to heaven. So I'm only on season 1.
Have you finished season 1?
No, I have not finished season 1. The sinkhole just repaired itself.
And no one has spoiled The Good Place for you, right?
Right.
No one has told you anything, right?
No one has told me anything.
Okay, good. Don't let anyone talk to you about The Good Place. Just watch it in isolation.
Okay.
Don't talk to anyone else about The Good Place. Don't talk to me about The Good Place. Don't talk to Rosa about The Good Place.
I will not talk to anybody.
Watch it without talking to anyone.
Okay.
You don't understand. This is important.
Okay.
Watch it without spoilers.
There's fear. You can't see it because
season 1 was spoiled for me, but I still enjoyed it.
Okay, I will.
You can experience the true joy of this show.
Help!
Holy forking shitballs, my friend.
Help! I feel like the girl in the car with Wayne Brady, the hoe on the Wayne Brady episode was like, "Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. I love your show.
Run, bitch, run, I need some help." That's me, right?
The fact that no one has spoiled A Good Place for you is
And
so
I was
amazing.
just flipping through it through Netflix. I'm just like, oh, okay.
I am so proud that actually, you know, I hate to make it about race, but obviously, like, none of the white or brown people around you watch the show. Clearly,
No. If they do, they haven't said anything. It's not like people are like, "Oh, dude, watch that. Have you watched the?"
Yeah, because Pete was the one who clued me into the Good Place, and like he told me like, "Oh, blah blah blah, giant spoiler." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And I fell backwards in my chair, and we were at Wingstop. I remember exactly when he told me about The Good Place, and he told me like he's like, "Oh yeah, it's about this and this and this, and then blah blah blah," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I beg your fucking pardon." Yeah. Yeah, the fact that no one has spoiled it for you is, I am so happy.
Good.
I mean, like I said, I gave you that like the very concerned look. I'm like, don't let anyone keep it secret. Keep it. I'm like, I am Gandalf and you are fucking Frodo.
Okay, I'll
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Tell no one that you're watching The Good Place. Well,
you guys did
unfortunately,
not hear that.
don't spoil it for him.
I'm not
Please
watching
don't.
The Good Place.
You're a monster. If you spoil it for him, I'll block you.
I'm
forever.
not watching The Good Place. I'm watching Penny Dreadful.
Oh, Bradney, did you miss the last half hour of us talking about Dave Chappelle special? We talked about it for like half an hour. Go back and after this is posted, go back and rewind to about 40 minutes in, and you'll hear all of our thoughts about Dave Chappelle's stand-up special.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about a lot. That's why we were 20 minutes over. We did an hour and 20 minutes today because we had a lot of thoughts and feelings about Dave Chappelle's stand-up. I think you came in right when we were talking about other stand-up comics afterwards.
Poor
You need to go home and just watch The Good Place. It's on a marathon. Just ignore your children, ignore your lady, ignore everything, and just watch The Good Place. Just get to the end of season 1, and then you're gonna text me.
Okay.
You're gonna text me at the end of season 1. I want you to know that.
Okay. I will do that.
And then the show's gonna actually get better after that.
I like it now, but if it's gonna get better, cool.
Oh! I am full of emotions right now. I was doing the close, and then all of a sudden we did an extra 15 minutes. We're like stand-up comics here. We just keep going. Like, we like the audience. We're feeling the audience. We're just gonna keep going.
We'll keep going as long as you're here.
And as long as you guys are enjoying this, we're gonna keep going. That's why I show up every week. My coworker asked me, he's like, "How many episodes of your show have you done?" I'm like, "Well, tonight will be 139." He's like, "139? Yeah, 2.5 years. Oh, over 2.5 years." Mm-hmm. We're gonna be hitting the 3-year anniversary coming up. Second week of January. Yeah. Will be 3 years of podcasting. We've only missed 1 week when I was really sick, the week of my birthday back in 2017. Mm-hmm. And I still tried to do a show that day by myself, playing Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. That show was really boring, so I never posted it. I just deleted that motherfucker. I was very sick, and I didn't want to get Sam, who was a recent father at that time, and Pete. I didn't want to get them sick, because we were still doing it back at the Secret Podcast Studios, back in Burbank, California. Did I say that out loud? God damn it, Dre.
No, he didn't.
Back when we used to do them in a radio studio that we were not supposed to be in, but hey, why not? Because hey, it was cool. The people who listened to the audio version had clear, crisp audio because it was nice professional equipment. Now it's unprofessional on unprofessional equipment on my little snowball, which I don't know half the time if it's picking it up. But hey, if you audio listeners ever leave us a comment, nah.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We did all the plugs. Hey, you can watch this on its entirety on YouTube. Hopefully I can download it tonight. Well, I had trouble downloading last week's episode because I was only using my hotspot. I didn't have the strong Wi-Fi of the Nostalgic Books and Comics Podcast Studios. Is it weird if my son likes the Teen Titans and not Teen Titans Go? And he's only 5 months. Weird. No, it's not weird because the Teen Titans, that other cartoon before Go, was like one of the greatest things ever.
Yep. And Teen Titans Go is good.
It is good.
I will say, Teen Titans Go, and I stand by this, Teen Titans Go is better than Animaniacs. I said it, fight me.
I've only literally seen one episode of Teen Titans Go, but it was the one about professional wrestling.
You need to see the one
where they all got like professional, where Robin and the rest of them are big pro wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And Cyborg was being a freaking dick about it, and he only believed in amateur wrestling.
Yeah. Oh,
and
God.
then they kind of turned him around.
They're all sociopaths. Here are the episodes.
I still need to see the movie.
Oh, dude, I have it. I should have brought it with me.
No, you didn't know.
When you watch Teen Titans Go, these are the episodes you need to watch. The one where they mock Dragon Ball Z because Robin is secretly a leprechaun. Yeah. There's Cyborg, who's like hooked on 80s, so like he listens to 80s music, 80s style music. He's always making references to 80s TV shows.
Fingering Prince. That's right.
Fingering Prince is the greatest joke ever written that will never be taught, ever. No one will talk that joke.
Animaniacs, yeah. But I was about to say, does the Cyborg listen to Prince? It was like weird, TL. Like I was thinking about Prince, and you wrote that comment about Prince, and I was like, wait, get out of my head.
He doesn't listen to Prince only because Prince.
I mean, if you listen to 80s music and he's Cyborg, I mean, he's got to listen to Prince.
You would think. I think he does mention Prince.
Keyboard
at one
control.
Point in time. But there's another one.
Software control.
Where he stop it, you monster. They do an episode where they end up going like changing art styles where it's done like heavy metal, and they all end up like with a totally 80s look, and then they do a callback to that like a couple seasons later, only I think it's spread across like a 5-episode show. It's glorious. It's
Oof. Okay, now I think you're gonna have to field this question. I mean, before we close the show, Bradney asks, "Who's better, Prince or Michael Jackson?"
Okay.
I don't like these questions.
This is one of those type of questions that philosophers have debated for decades. From a musical standpoint.
And now we'll be here for 2 hours.
From a musical standpoint, Prince is better. And I say that because despite the fact that Michael doesn't know music, it's all in his head. Like there are literally articles where he was like, here's the beats, and he does them all, and he literally layers everything, the percussion, the guitar, everything, and he makes all the sounds with his own voice, even though he doesn't know the notes. Prince taught himself to play everything that he played.
Everything.
So from a musical standpoint, Prince is better. In every other way, from impact on music, as an icon, as everything, Michael Jackson.
All I'm gonna say is game blouses.
In that regard,
I'm just gonna say game blouses.
I will say this:
motherfucker can hoop.
He can hoop.
Motherfucker can hoop.
And it's not that. And according to Prince, he's not that good. It's just that Charlie Murphy was
that bad.
And that's from Prince's own mouth. But I will say this: as awesome. Yeah, that's from Prince.
I'm just imagining fucking.
He did an interview shortly after Charlie Murphy died, and he was talking about that. And he had said, I actually did play him. He's like, yeah, I beat Charlie Murphy. It's not that I can play basketball, it's that Charlie Murphy's that bad.
I beat his ass.
Yeah. But while Prince's performance at the Super Bowl was amazing, and Purple Rain is one of the greatest songs ever written, Thriller. That's all I gotta say.
Thriller gave me nightmares. Purple Rain. Poor little 5-year-old me couldn't take that damn video. What a 5-finger straight to the face. Slap.
You go to anybody and you start doing this, they will know what you were talking about. Doesn't matter how old they are.
Nah, that was an emote in Destiny. All right, now we got to kill the show. It's an hour and a half. This is the longest podcast we've probably done.
Sayonara.
All right, everyone. You can find this hour and a half right here on Facebook. You can find it on YouTube. Search for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. If you want to support the show, share, like, comment, like all these wonderful people have commented on the show. Come here live and watch it live with us, with all these awesome people. And if you want to support the show, if you want to spare a few dollars to help me pay for the SoundCloud fees, you can go to our Patreon. Go to patreon.com and search for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. For as low as $1 a month, you can help us out and help me pay for the sound. Just like awesome Daniel Wong does. He contributes every month, and he's helped me bring down the cost of providing this show for everyone. If anyone else wants to contribute financially, you can do so. Patreon.com and search for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. Of course, you don't always have to. We don't require money, but it'd be nice if you're so generous, just like our friend Daniel Wong. If you can't contribute, like I just said, you can like the show, you can share the show, you can follow the show, you can do all that fun stuff that helps spread the doctrine of our geek philosophy, and I can bring on my friends like Jai. We can spread our crazy doctrine and amuse people here every Monday night at 8 p.m. I'm prospectively trying to bring another show at some point to kind of fill in until the multiverse show comes back on Wednesdays. I don't know. Pete has taken an indefinite hiatus. I saw him last week. We had a meeting for the East Los Angeles Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo 2020. We're already starting the ball rolling on next year's big comic expo in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, or East Los Angeles. I have to be very specific. Not Boyle Heights, not Hollenbeck Park, not Silver Lake. No, we're specifically and only in the part that says East LA. Not Monterey Park, not El Sereno, not Montebello. It's East Los.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah. That's coming. But I saw Pete, but we don't know. ETA of Pete's returning, unknown. Whenever he's not as busy as he currently is. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. For Jai Polidore, I'm Dre Cervantes. This has been Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. We will see you guys next week. Have a good night. Konnichiwa, bitches.